Hello, freelancers. Welcome back to the channel. I am Sadiq Umar, and today is special. Today, I am joined with a guest expert who is an expert in freelancing, and she is someone I personally follow on social media for a while now. And we are lucky to have her join us on the channel to share her knowledge and expertise about freelancing. Shruti, welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We are going to talk about three things, which are the three most important things for new freelancers. We are going to start by discussing how to approach freelance clients, how to write a winning proposal, and also how to talk to client as a new freelancer. And Shruti is going to share her expertise and her knowledge on these three parts of becoming a freelancer. And Shruti, why don't you start by introducing yourself and a little about your journey into freelancing?
Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Shruti, and I am a freelancer, just like you. And I'm working on Fiverr right now. For past 3 years, I've been providing services on Fiverr. So one of the best ways I feel is by joining freelancing platforms. The reason is when you are new, you don't know how to approach, how to write, and all of the things. So it's better to join freelance platforms and learn gradually, step by step. Over the time, you will be getting the knowledge of everything. So that's how I started, and now it's been 3 years since I've been doing this.
Yep, 3 years. That's a long time. I started my freelancing journey, I think 2019. That's when I get started. And
Over.
when I get started, I don't really know anything about freelancing. So it took me months, about 3 to 4 months before I found even my very first client. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
believe most of the new freelancers, this is the challenge, finding your first client, and that is why you need to map out this first three parts, and this is what is going to help you find your first client very fast. Shruti, why don't we start with the first part, which is approaching freelance client as a newbie, as a complete beginner to freelancing.
Okay, before that, I think the newbies will be wondering how to find clients and then they will be approaching them. So, finding clients is kind of easy. People find it difficult, but it is pretty easy if you are clear with your targeted audience and your niche. So, for example, if I am a content creator and a designer, and I am someone who loves to design for creators, then obviously my targeted audience is going to be the creators. So I'll target them, and where I can find them, so it will be social media and somewhere like that, and then I'll get the information of like such as email, and I can DM them. Cold DM can work as well. So these are the rough ways by which you can find clients, and obviously freelancing platforms are a lifesaver in this. So you should try on our Fiverr, Freelancer. These three top platforms are there. And then now it comes to it's time for approaching them. So the right way to approach, according to me, there is no right or wrong way, but I'm just sharing my opinion. The thing is, when you are new, you don't have a lot to show to them. So just be transparent, be authentic, and tell them what and how you will be helping them. Just mention these two things. Whenever you are pitching or whenever you are presenting yourself or whatever you are, if any kind of communication is there, just try to be authentic and just tell them how your work is going to benefit them. These 2 points, if you are mentioning them, they will surely consider you. And then obviously a portfolio, whenever you are approaching a client, doesn't matter if you are new or a very pro kind of person. It's just that you should have a good portfolio, and in that portfolio obviously your work, it can be a dummy work, like you can give your some work to yourself and then you can perform it, and then you can showcase it in your portfolio. That will also work because initially you don't have clients, so this can be a good way of presenting and collecting the works, and then you will have a good portfolio, present it in a nice way, and rest all depends on your communication.
Exactly. And I always say to people who want to start freelancing, you need to have sample project. I believe that is what you are talking about, because when you create your portfolio, you are a complete beginner, you haven't completed any previous jobs, you have nothing to show to potential client. So creating the dummy project, which is a sample project, is what is going to help you show your potential client that this is what you can do for them. Yeah,
Exactly.
and yeah, and this is something that I advise new freelancers. I would like to get your opinion on it. I always advise new freelancers to start with a freelancing platform. There are online communities, online Facebook groups, direct reaching out directly, cold emails. But I believe it's best for new freelancers to start with a freelancing platform. Generally, because it's easier to build credibility and it's easier to verify your skills on a freelancing platform, and it's easier to look like a real freelancer, not a scam, not somebody who is just trying to scam people. And I would like to get your opinion on this.
Yeah, exactly. Because cold emailing and cold DM is a different thing. I too, maybe the reason I'm saying this is because I am myself working on a freelancing platform from the very beginning. So I am kind of very fond of the freelancing platforms at the moment. And you too are working on our work. So maybe it can be a biased opinion. Some people who are getting clients from emails and DMs, they might say that freelancing platforms take a too long time and they're not worth it. They charge your fees and XYZ things they can say. But for me, it works. So I would say it doesn't. As I said earlier, that there is no right or wrong way. Whatever works for you works for you. So just try everything and you will find the best way that fits you well, and then you can stick to it and then you can move forward.
Yes, exactly. Because when you are new, you won't know what will work for you until you get started and just try everything out. Especially if you have a lot of time on your hands, you can try every freelancing platform on the app until you find the one that works for you. When I started with freelancer.com, and later I just didn't like it because it takes too much of my time. I tried
Mm.
Fiverr.com, they shut down my profile. I created another profile and then I moved to Upwork. So that is just how it works. You try everything and find out what works for you. The main reason why I feel like working in a freelancing platform is great is because that is what works for me too. And that is where you can build a profile that is going to be, your skills are going to be easily verifiable if you are on a freelancing platform, because when you complete a project, a client is going to leave a review and a feedback, and so that is easily verifiable. So yeah, totally agree with you. You just need to try everything out and find what works best for you. And like you said, the key thing when you are just starting out is having a right portfolio. You have a right portfolio and a doing project so that you can show to your potential client this is what you can do for them. Right, so let's move to the next important part, which is writing a winning proposal. What are the key tips that you have on writing a winning proposal as a newbie, someone just getting started?
Don't use ChatGPT. Okay. All right. So the thing is, a lot of people write mails. A lot of people write like bid on Upwork as well. I've seen that. Like I have been hiring from a long time, so I have been through this experience that people are taking the help of AI devices, AI applications. But the thing is that you should know that the person you're writing to should not be able to judge that you have used like they are just copying it simply and pasting it and sending it to you. There's zero effort in it. If you're not putting effort in the writing thing or in the proposal that will give you the money in the end, then how they can believe that you will be putting some efforts in the work that they are going to give you? So this is the thing where the trust issues, you know, come. So I think whenever you are writing a proposal, it's okay to take help of AI tools like Copy AI is there, then ChatGPT obviously. You can take help of n number of tools, but in the end, try to give a touch of personalization, which is very important. I think you can mention a point from the proposal that they have mentioned that we are looking for XYZ thing, and we think our brand is this. So you can mention their brand, you can mention their name, give a personal touch to it, so that they, while reading, they also feel connected. And in the end, you can mention a strong CTA that whatever you want to that you can revert back or connect back, something like that, because they are going to read a lot of proposals, they're going to check a lot of emails. So a CTA is a gentle reminder of checking back on you. So I think CTA will works really nice. Personalization and CTA, these two things I think are the most crucial parts which make a proposal, a email, a DM more reliable and more authentic. So yeah, whenever you are writing, just keep these two things in mind.
Exactly. And one thing some people don't understand is AI can never be human. And
Yeah.
ChatGPT, I don't know in the future, but ChatGPT right now, it can never be human. So if you use ChatGPT to write a proposal, someone like me and you who read many proposals, the moment you read it, you know it comes from ChatGPT. And it's
Mm.
just what you said. If you can't put an effort into writing a proposal, then why should I believe that you will put an effort into doing my work? So yeah, right. It might not be a good idea to not use AI, but only use AI to help you, not use AI to write the proposal, use AI to make it better. And yeah, another thing to keep in mind is people are looking for people, right? So if you write with ChatGPT, it is just going to sound generic. And one thing I noticed with ChatGPT, because I use it a lot, when you use ChatGPT, sometimes it generates it a text with two fancy words, and
Yeah.
something that you can line in 2 paragraphs, it will
I
generate 5 paragraphs, and no client is going to read 5, 6 paragraphs of your proposal. So if you use ChatGPT, it's a good way to not get clients. So do you have anything to add to this, or shall we move to the next part, which is talking to clients?
Okay, talking to clients. Let's let's continue with that.
Okay, let's move to the last part, how to talk to client as a new freelancer. What's your tips on that?
Okay, how to talk to clients as a new freelancer. So clients are also new to you, and you are also new to the clients. So it's your first time encountering each other. So first impression is the last impression, as people says. So you have to just be polite, greet them nicely, mention their name, as I said earlier. And after that, there are a lot of people who have a set of questions. I have seen that whatever niche you are in, you have a set of questions that you are supposed to ask to your client. So sometimes people just group them all and send them in one go. So that might scare the client. So don't ever you do that. Just go step by step. Take their thoughts as well in the middle of the conversation. Ask them what you are expecting. What are your vision? What are you expecting from me? What are you expecting from the project? And how do you want it to, what is your vision? These are some kind of questions, general questions that whatever niche you are in, even if you are a digital marketer or a virtual assistant or a graphic designer, so you should just ask them so that you have a rough idea of what client's mindset is. And then what you can do is you can just simply keep on asking one by one easy questions like what is your brand theme, what is, like, from my perspective I'm telling you that I am a designer, so what are your brand colors, okay, is there a document, have you worked with this, like these simple questions to get to know them better, because it's both, as I mentioned earlier, it's both for both of you, it's first time encountering each other. So just make a general friendly environment so that they can share with you, and you can also ask some questions and be open to each other. And I personally, I do is, because mostly in Fiverr we talk via chats, so they don't know what your facial expression is and what tone you are talking. So sometimes I use emojis just to even if there is a serious question, I enter a smiley emoji or something, just to make them feel comfortable. Okay, the person is asking me nicely, because the tone, you don't know with what mindset they are going to read your chat. So I personally think that emojis are a good option to let them know, okay, I am a friendly kind of person, you can be frank with me. So that is something that I do when I talk to client as a new freelancer, or even as a experienced freelancer. These are things that I do. And the next thing is, whenever also ask for a budget. You have some, pricing in your mind already, but it's always a safe side to ask the client what is your budget, not in a rough way or too harsh way, just a rough estimate you can ask, so that you have the idea and you don't lose your clients initially. If it fits you, then you can create an offer. If it doesn't, you can ask them to negotiate, like, I can't do this, on if this is too low, can we do it in this amount, like that. You can, encourage the client to talk to you. And this is how I generally talk to my clients, and you should too.
Yes, yes, that's great. And there are a lot of nuggets there. So this is something that new freelancers, you just have to listen. You just have to listen and take notes, and it will take time to develop their skills to become second nature. But when you are just getting started, this is very important, that you just have to take notes and just practice. Over time it will become second nature. For me, I don't have much to say about communicating with client, because generally I just, by nature, I'm a little too friendly. So for that reason, whether via text or calls, video calls, immediately I just talk to client as if I've known them 10 years ago. And that's just my nature. And for that reason, I don't even think about what to say to them. The only thing that I keep in mind is I try to be as specific as possible with terms, with what I do and how much we pay and the date timeline. That's the only thing I keep in mind. And I just become a little too friendly. And for that reason, most of my clients, there is nothing formal. We just talk about everything. Sometimes we have a meeting with client before we even start talking about work. We will spend like 10 to 15 minutes talking about things that are not even relevant to work. For most new freelancers, rewatch if you need to and take all the notes that you need, so that you can at least, especially if you haven't found your first client yet. Because I did a poll recently on social media and I asked, have you found your first client yet? Yes and no. And 80% of the bots choose no. So 80% of the new freelancers did not find their first client. If viewers want to reach out to you, what's the best channel to find you? I know you are on YouTube and social media. What's your handle? What's the best way to reach out to you?
Obviously, the mail. I am a morning person, and I check my mails. The first thing that I do in morning is I scroll through my mobile. Okay, what are the notifications? What are the messages? What are the mails that I've received recently? And then I go through all of this. And then, so I think mails are a better option for a person who is active on social media than, or a YouTube creator, or a person who is very active on social media. Then you can directly DM them. They will check it, because people do. So you have to just check where is the person most active. You can find the details from websites as well, like their personal blogs or something. There are a lot of way to connect to a person. Just you don't have to give up the hope. Like, I would like to share a small story. When I hired my first video editor, he has messaged me on Instagram, but I have never checked it because I'm not a social media person that much. I don't check my DMs a lot, to be honest. And by for my mails, I check them regularly. So he has sent the DM 1 month or 2 months back me, and I have never seen it. And then when we started working together, we have been working for like 6-7 months right now. But because of his mail, I found out that okay, there is a person who wants to work with me as a video editor, and I hired him. And then he one day he told me that boss, I have sent you a DM as well, but you've never seen it. And then I went to my DMs, I accepted his request. I was like, okay, what would have happened if he has not written the mail as well? So you should try multiple ways to reaching out the person you want to work with.
Exactly. Well, thank you for joining us, Shruti. And if anyone has any question for Shruti, you can just post it in the comment of this video, and Shruti will surely get back to you.
Yes.
And thank you. Yeah. Any final words?
Okay. It's been great talking to you, Sadik, and thank you for having me. You are such a our vibe match kind of like. I'm also a fun vibe person, and you two are. So yeah, it was fun talking to you, and all the best in your freelancing journey, and happy New Year because we are recording this on 1st of January, New Year.
Exactly. Yep, right. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you guys in the next one.